Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections Magazine. We're so excited to share with you some information today. Divine Connections Magazine comes out on a quarterly basis, and we promote different artists, different gospel artists, different entrepreneurs, different authors, and positive things going on in the community. You can find out more information about Divine Connections at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. And also, you can look forward to a major event coming up March 28th, which is Divine Connection Expo and 10th Magazine Anniversary. That's going to be in Haw River, North Carolina, and vendors are welcome. We're going to be celebrating me doing the 10th Magazine Anniversary and the accomplishments I've made throughout the year, along with other vendors and entrepreneurs, gospel artists, praise bands, and mom ministries. So we look forward to you getting a ticket. You can get a ticket at www.divineconnectionsmarketing.com/event. And today I have a special guest that's from North Carolina, and as we know, this is October, so this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I have a special guest, Miss Jamie Bowden, from North Carolina, and they call her Coco. So great day to you, Miss Coco. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing well. So tell the audience about yourself, what you do, and who you are.
Okay, well, I'm Miss Coco Bowden out of Candor, North Carolina. I'm a radio announcer for UGA Gospel Storm, Legend 107 Radio, Tampa, Florida, and also Jazzy Soul Radio in Nada, Botswana. I'm also the founder of BBS Divas, and what it is a charity program that goes out and helps those that are in need of mental support and sometimes financial support. Also, I am an author of Poverty Line Among Us, and basically I'm just one of those persons who loves to get out there and help others and to see others succeed. I am a women's empowerment teacher. You can always find me on iHeartRadio, and I guess we'll get into that later on. So that's who I am.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Glad to have you today. And today we're going to talk about, since it's October, we're going to talk about breast cancer awareness. And she has some awesome information to share with you. So this is not only for women, but it's also for men. We have a lot of people that's connected and have various resources directed in that area. So she's one of my guests today that's going to speak about breast cancer awareness and some things you can do to prevent breast cancer awareness or breast cancer, some things in life you can do on a daily basis. And she's also going to give you some resources as well. So go ahead, Coco, and share some information with the audience.
All right. So as y'all know, it is October, and you're probably seeing pink everywhere. Well, that's to increase the awareness of breast cancer. And breast cancer is very common. It's more common than we, really want to admit. So that pink, everybody should be wearing pink this month because it helps identify that disease and to express our more support for women who do have breast cancer. So a lot of questions that people have is like, what is breast cancer? Well, breast cancer starts when cells in the breast begin to grow out of control, and these cells will form a tumor that can often be seen on X-ray or felt as a lump. And I just want to give you an example of how these cells work in our body. A normal healthy cell would control its growing, but when we have unhealthy cells, whether it's one or a group of them, they will continuously grow and divide. And as they grow and divide, what happens is they form a lump, which is called a tumor. Now, these tumors sometimes can be benign. That means non-cancerous. Take some antibiotics, you'll be okay. But then when we have the cancerous tumors, then it's time to take action. But the good thing about what we have now is that we can prevent a lot of this. We can prevent deaths with early detection. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention breast cancer is the most common cancer. And so since it's the most common, they have tools out here that can help prevent it. More than 268,000 women will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer by the end of 2019. So just imagine, we ain't even at December yet. How many more women will be diagnosed with it, with more than 41,000 deaths already reported this year from breast cancer. So some of the things that we can do to help prevent this is to go ahead and put this in your mental capacity. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you from saying about yourself. Don't let fear stop you from taking care of your mind and your body, because it all starts within your mind. And this is something that I love to express to women. If you're going to survive anything in this life, you've got to have a mind for it. And so what you can do to help prevent this, like I said, is go ahead and start preparing your mind to live. Prepare your mind to live mentally. And then there are certain foods that you can eat that can help fight off these cells, these bad cells. Keep in mind, cancer comes from bad cells, unhealthy cells. So in order for us to reproduce the good cells, we need to eat more foods like the greens, like broccoli, cabbage, spinach, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. And then there are berries that we can eat as well that have lots of antioxidants, like the blackberries, the blueberries, the raspberries. And we need those antioxidants to help build and boost our immune system naturally. Listen when I say naturally. You can do this naturally. And then we have turmeric and black pepper. Who would have thought that black pepper can help ward off breast cancer? But it can when it's mixed along with flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil is not only good for helping those cells to rejuvenate and stay healthy and strong, but it also helps with your joints and heart disease as well. And then we have the house plants. Ladies, if you got house plants in your house, it's a good thing that you do, because these house plants can kill off the toxins that actually cause cells to go bad in your body. So the more houseplants you got, the more toxins that you are going to kill off. And the reason why I say these houseplants, because when we're outside, when we're going to stores, when we're going to people's houses, when we're pumping gas or whatever it is that you're doing that a whole bunch of people has touched in the public, those are toxins on those doors. And we bring that stuff straight from the grocery store into our homes. And those toxins can sit around and get into our immune system, into our body, and start turning our cells bad. And so these plants, these beautiful house plants, I'm looking at mine now, but these beautiful house plants can let off a chemical that can counteract, that will kill off those cancer cells in your body. It will kill it off. So those are just some ways that you can prevent. Now, when it comes down to going and being tested, and this is for men also. I don't want to leave the men out, because oftentimes we think, well, men ain't going to get it. And most of the time we don't really know a man that has it. But I tell you, men do get it. And so some of these symptoms are the same for men as it is for women. When it comes down to taking care of your breast, make sure that you are doing your exams, your self-exams. It's so important to do your self-exams, because a lot of times when breast cancer is found, it's found too late because of something else that was hurting. Somebody might have went in with a backache that they had for a long time, and that's how they discovered it. Somebody might have went in with a cough that they had for a long time. How about chest pain? A lot of people don't think that chest pain is associated with breast cancer, but underneath your collarbone, that is where breast cancer can form as well. So we want to pay attention to the changes in our breast and make sure that, we're looking for anything that's out of the ordinary. You know your body better than anybody else. So if you see your breasts that they are red, they are swollen, if you see any flaky skin, you see skin deteriorating, breaking apart, go talk to your doctor about it. If you see in your breast, sometimes you can stand right in front of the mirror. I do this all the time because of some things that I went through concerning my breast. but you stand in front of the mirror and look at your breast. Of course, naturally, one is going to be smaller than the other. That is natural, so that's nothing to be concerned about. But what you do want to be concerned about is if you see oval-shaped lumps in your breast. How about if you see little hard-looking shaped balls on your breast? You want to be concerned with that. You want to also pay attention to your nipples. It's so important that you pay attention to that nipple and that it is sitting right, because sometimes people with breast cancer, the nipple turns inwardly, especially for the men. Their nipples will turn inwardly, and they may have a discharge. You may have a bloody discharge, or you may have a clear discharge. But either way, discharge is not good. So guess what? If you have that discharge or you see that your nipples are turning inward, it's time to go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Talk with them. Tell them what's going on. Let them know so that they can get you in for mammogram testing. That mammogram testing helps to early detect breast cancer. It can save lives. If you get in there in time, your life can be saved, your friend's life. And I want you to pay attention to your elders. Sometimes we don't pay attention to the elders, and these elders can have these little nodules on their breast, and they'll say, well, I got an old bump here that just keep aggravating me. And, we won't think nothing of it because of their age. Sometimes that's breast cancer sitting there. I have seen elderly women with these, what we thought was a little nodule or a bump or a mosquito bite, turned out to be breast cancer. So get to the doctor on that. Okay, now with these mammograms, I want to give you an example of the 3D mammograms that they have now, especially for the women with dense breasts. That would be more of us heavy-set women who have just big breasts, and you got a lot of tissue in there. It's a lot of tissue in there. And if those cells aren't acting right in that tissue, then it can cause breast cancer. And usually with a regular mammogram, it's hard to tell if it's a false positive or, if it's a negative because of the density of the breast. But with 3D mammograms, they can now go in there and see beyond those layers. I'm talking about beyond layers after layers after layers of skin and tissue. They can now see if there's anything in there that is cancerous. And an example of that is, I want you to picture a watermelon. I don't know why I chose watermelon, but picture a watermelon, and the watermelon has all this thick skin on the outside. If you slice the side of the watermelon, you can see that it's a watermelon, and you can eat that part, but you can't see those seeds in there. But if you go and slice it in half, and you start cutting around there, and you're seeing those layers after layers, and now you're seeing seeds, that's how the 3D mammogram works. What you can't see from the outside or the surface, they can go deep in and see, and that can help save lives. Another thing is, you men out there, I know it's hard for you to I know it's hard for men, period, to get up and say, hey, I need to go to the doctor. There's something wrong with my boobs. It's hard for men to do that, period. But men, if you notice that there are changes in your skin that are covering up your breast tissue, that if you see any dimpling, and this is for women too, any dimpling, puckering, how about scales? If you start seeing scales around your breast, that's another reason to get up and go to the doctor. Now, when you do the self-exam, the best way to do it is to, some people lay flat and some people stand and do it. I do both ways because, according to your size, if you're a little heavier, you might want to try different ways to examine yourself, because sometimes you can't feel because you do have, all the tissue in the breast. So when you put your hand over your head, feel up under there, by your armpits and up under your armpits. Right there is where a lot of breast cancer starts at. Underneath there is the lymph nodes. And when those lymph nodes become infected, guess what? Those cells start growing and growing and growing and dividing. And next thing you know, there's breast cancer there. So be sure that you keep a check on that. And if you have anything out of the ordinary around your chest bones, around your back, around the blades in your back, like your shoulder blades. If there's anything that feels different to you, if you have trouble breathing, shortness of breath and stuff, go ahead and get that seen, because it's very important that you get in time. The goal is to detect what's there early. Now, with the false positives, because there are some false positives out there, it can turn out to be a cyst or a mass. If this is the case, then they may have you come back for a mammogram yearly until that mass or them cysts go away. And they will call you in to do a biopsy. Before you are diagnosed with anything, they will call you in to do a biopsy, because usually breast cancer is usually painless, and when they get to the pain part is usually when it's further down in the stages. But most of the time it's painless, so when they call you in, they will do that breast biopsy to make sure that that's what it is. And when they do the breast biopsy, ladies, still don't be afraid. Listen, handle your mind before you go in there. Talk to yourself. Have faith in God. Believe that everything is going to be all right. And if you know that you already have something, believe that you are already healed. It has to be in your mind. It's got to be in your mind first. But whenever you do the breast aspiration, they just have you lay down on a bed and hold your arm up, and they'll go in your breast with a needle and with a little camera and stuff and take pictures and just take little pieces of the meat to see if it's cancerous or not. And that's all it is. It does not take long. It's not a painful procedure. Don't get afraid just by looking at the needle. It's really not a painful procedure. Okay. Do you have any questions, Dolores? Okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure that we know, that when we're talking about breast cancer awareness, we are talking about women, get up, men, get up, go see about your woman. Women, go see about your man, because sometimes these men not going to get up and just say, well, I'm going to see about my breast. So it is going to take a woman to say, honey, I notice your breasts are different. I see some lump in there or something, not in a scary way, but in a way that would encourage them to go see about themselves. And I don't think I talked about the genetics, but 5 to 10% of breast cancer is genetic, and that's a small percentage, 5 to 10%. So most of the time, the women that have breast cancer, it's not even running in their family. It just comes up out of nowhere. So either way, we need to make sure that we are getting tested for that. And the testing starts at age 40.
Awesome. And what are some places that you can go to to get it tested?
Okay, well, anywhere where there's imaging at, where there's imaging for x-ray and stuff, that's where you can go and have the test done. At your local hospitals, let me tell y'all, they get grants in. Susan G. Komen, all them, they have grants that come out that will pay for women who are below poverty or right at poverty or mid-range. They will pay for you to get this testing done. So there is no excuse why you cannot go. You can go to your local doctor and ask them for more resources on it, or you can do like some of the community support programs. Like I have the community support program. We come in and we see what the needs are, and then we get them in contact with whoever is next, you know, like the imaging department and stuff. So we'll go ahead and get them hooked up with that. But you basically have to look around and see who's in your area doing what. That's why it's important to be involved in community activities.
Awesome, awesome. And if they have any questions, how can they contact you? Maybe if they wanted to ask you some questions.
If you have any questions or you just need somebody to talk with you, then I am definitely the person to do it. So what you can do is hit me up on Facebook. You can inbox me underneath Jamie Boughton. You can inbox me. You can email me at misscocoboughton@gmail.com. And I will be more than glad to help you. That is part of what I do, is assist people. I have assisted people in all 50 states. And plus, some countries as well. And what I do is I'll get on the phone with them. If I can't get to them, I'll be on the phone with them and help walk them through the process. If they're getting ready to go into surgery, I'm the last voice that they hear to give them peace and comfort and to know that God is going to do what God's got to do to get you back well. So I'm more of the encourager type. So if you call me, not call, but if you inbox me or email me at misscocobowden@gmail.com, I definitely will do my best to help you in whatever area that I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your information, Coco. Ladies and gentlemen, that is an awesome connection and resource that you can connect with. We know that this is a worldwide thing that a lot of people deal with. And also I want to mention a resource that is a family member or you have breast cancer or any kind of cancer, you also want to connect with Miss Debbie Allen, who is over community cancer awareness as well. They support families. They support individuals dealing with breast cancer or any cancer. They'll help mow the grass, get your groceries, take you to get your medicine. So there are some awesome resources out there to connect with. Again, we want to thank Ms. Coco for stepping in and sharing this great information. I would ask you a favor to go ahead and like this information and share it with as many people as you can. I appreciate Coco just for having the spirit of excellence and the spirit of God, because we want to talk with individuals who have a heart of God and who will lead you in the right directions and keep it positive while you're going through this, because it can be a scary process or a scary thought to get that information. And so we have resources here connected with Divine Connections to do so. So is there any last minutes, Ms. Coco, you want to share?
Yeah, I wanted
last sayings?
Yes, I want to say that also American Cancer Society, anything that you need concerning any kind of cancer, I work with them as well concerning any kind of cancer. You can call them. They have not only help support for you, but they have support for your caregivers. And that's something we forget about is the caregivers, but they have an excellent support team and referral that they can give for the caregivers as well. And I want to announce that I am having my annual program that raises money to benefit those breast cancer survivors. It's going to be November the 23rd down in Southern Pines, North Carolina at the Douglas Center from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am having the adult prom. So those of you that are in the North Carolina area, I would love for you to come out and jam with us, DJ Jam Rock. Y'all come on out and have a great time. We're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner. Somebody will be crowned king and queen, best dancer, all that good stuff. And the money that we raise is going directly to those cancer survivors.
Well, we want to thank you, Ms. Coco, for coming on and sharing this information for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You all stay connected. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you go and like our page, Divine Connections Marketing, as well as Divine Connection Events. And also connect with Ms. Janie Bolden, known as Coco. And stay connected with us. We have great information that we love to share with the community and keep it positive. We know that Jesus Christ is our divine connector. So stay connected, and we love you all, and thank you for listening. And make sure you share this information with others. Have a great day.